Hey, Polar Opposites, I'm Matt. He's Craig. We're back talking Oklahoma City Thunder. Thunder currently sitting at 40-30. Big game Monday night against the Golden State Warriors. And, I mean, unfortunately, it's the same outcome. And my thought on this is it's time to put this whole rivalry thing to rest. So you can't keep having a chip on your shoulder and talking trash and all the stuff that both sides are doing, but yet have a game that plays out where one team is not just better, but clearly head and shoulders better than the other. I feel like this is getting to a point where it makes the Thunder, I think it gives a worse appearance. It makes the losses worse. When you got pregame, during the week, you got Steph Curry and Russell Westbrook kind of bantering back and forth, and then they go out on the floor and Westbrook drops a game like he did last night, and the Golden State Warriors literally run off the floor with a 16-point win. Okay, you're an Uber fan here. I mean, talk to me about your emotions through this, because this was it. This was the perfect. The Thunder have been playing maybe one of their best little swings of the season. You've got Golden State coming in, not at 100%. The guy that Thunder fans love to hate is not available. And you got Golden State. I mean, they're not playing great basketball, and they're certainly not at 100%. And if there was a time where the Thunder was going to get them, it was last night. But none of that happened. Run through the emotions of a fan here.
I know I'm supposed to be the homer here, but I agree. I think it's time not for the rivalry to end. I don't think that's going to end. I think there will always be a rivalry there. And
keep going.
I was going to say, yes, it's time for Oklahoma City fans to say the Warriors are better than us. But I mean, that was expected, right?
I think
the Thunder weren't expected to do as good as they're doing right now.
Right, but I think when you look at the grand scheme of things, you look at this season, yes, it's expected. I mean, it's expected Golden State's better than everybody. I mean, that's part of the hatred for the Warriors. They went out, they're already one of the top elite teams in the conference, in the league, and then they go out and they get Kevin Durant, which makes them the super team, and so everyone hates them because they're already better. But last night that was it. That was your chance to say we beat the Warriors. And you can't. I mean, you can't. And you this chip on the shoulder, just say, here's what Oklahoma City, this is what the Thunder need to say. Not fans, because I think fans to an extent have said it. But what the team needs to say is, Kevin Durant left us, it sucks, we really needed him, he's not here anymore, and we're hurt over it. Because they're doing everything by actions, they're doing that with everything except for words. And I'm a Clippers fan, that we've made that clear. So I don't like the Warriors either, because they're in the same division as the Clippers. But the reality is, this rivalry, it's not a real rivalry. And
this year.
Okay, but
Thunder are going to make some moves
in the fourth. Okay, walk me through it.
And we'll be there. But first, last night proves exactly how weak of a move Kevin Durant made.
Okay, talk to me about it.
They didn't have him, and they're still 20 points better than the Thunder.
Yeah, but
in power, in the win index, the Thunder ranked number 9 in the NBA. So the best team in the league, without their best player, is 20 points better than the number 9 ranked team, than the Thunder. The Warriors did not need Kevin Durant to win. They needed the Thunder to not have Kevin Durant. That's the only thing.
No, I agree. I agree. I'm not going to disagree with that at all. But still, this whole thing, this whole, and I'm using air quotes, they can't see me as they're listening, this whole rivalry is not based off of X's and O's on the basketball floor. This thing is based off of, you took our best player and you didn't need him. To me, that's not a rivalry. That's just being a hurt. You're hurt.
Okay, but even then, there was a rivalry, I feel like, before this.
And this
before
killed
Durant left.
Okay, let me ask you this. We're gonna try an analogy here, just to see if you can see. I think this may be our most heated argument so far. Remember, this whole podcast series is supposed to be arguments, but let me throw it at you this way. Oklahoma Sooners.
Okay.
Everything comes back to that for us because we do see eye to eye there. Who's the rival for Oklahoma Sooners?
Texas.
Why?
Because they're the team in the Big 12 that gives, well, in previous years, have given OU competition.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, they are. When you look at the Big 12 and you look at the teams there, Oklahoma trails Texas in that overall series. Right. Since Bob Stoops has come, it's slanted towards Oklahoma a little bit significantly. But at the end of the day, man, that's the team you don't want to lose to because they have that record against you, and the I mean it goes in swings. You know, OU will win. Well, at one point they won 5 in a row, and then Texas won 2 or 3 in a row. Then OU comes back and wins 2 or 3 in a row. Right? You following me? But Oklahoma State is going to say they are Oklahoma's rival. So tell me why they're not.
Because OU. Not always, but a majority of the time wins.
90% of the time, OU wins that game, right?
I think they've lost twice in my life. OU has lost twice in my lifetime, too.
That's the point I'm making. This thing ended the rivalry. It was a rivalry that was breeded out of competition. But there's no competition anymore. And now the next thing Oklahoma City goes to is this, we're tougher than you. And so we just watched it before we started recording, the scrum. All right, so you have this scrum with Samaj Christian and Steph Curry,
right.
And Draymond Green is he's clearly trying to get to Russell Westbrook. I mean, this whole thing's going. Benches are standing up, coaches coming on the floor to break it up, players trying to separate one another. And then what happens right out of that scrum?
Steph Curry hits a 3, heading in the half.
A wide open 3. The point I'm making is here's what's going on. Here's my take, and I'm going to turn the microphone back over to you, okay? Here's my take on this thing. Golden State, all they're doing is messing with Oklahoma City. They don't feel the least bit threatened by the Thunder.
And they shouldn't.
Well, but the point I'm making is this whole, hey, we're tougher than you. I'm still waiting on Russell Westbrook to get back at Pachula. I'm going to get him back. When's that going to happen?
It's coming.
When are they going to play again?
Yeah, hopefully in the playoffs.
I'm just saying, it's this whole, yeah, man, we're all tough and all that. You took our player. We don't need. Yeah, you needed that player that they took, and they don't care how tough you are. What they care about is you leave Steph Curry wide freaking open for a 3-point shot at the buzzer, and he's running in the locker room laughing. This, in my opinion, as a guy who lives in the city of Oklahoma City and watches this unfold on national television, this has reached the level of ridiculousness.
Ridiculous.
It's ridiculous.
No, listen. The rivalry started last year.
Out of competition.
More so when Draymond Green started kicking. And then, the Thunder blew the 3-1 lead. That really started it, and then Durant left. I don't see how, just because they swept us this year, but how that's not going to end the rivalry. It's never going to end. That's going to be the rivalry.
See, I don't see it, man. I think you can pick a team like for example, man, that San Antonio. Go back a couple of years ago. That's a natural rivalry that's blooming between these two franchises, because and I think that you look back on that series, it's a whole lot more competitive.
Battle of the river walks.
Yeah, exactly. And hey, you've been there, I've been there. Their river walk is better than ours.
Yeah.
And they have the Alamo. So, yeah. But the point I'm making is, man, that is a natural. That's it. That has been bred out of competition, and it remains competitive. And you can't say. I mean, and there was a respectful rivalry because of the whole Scott Brooks connection. Not Scott Brooks.
Sam Presti.
Thank you for the Sam Presti connection. Well, I have Scott Brooks on my notes here, but the Sam Presti connection, and I think man, that's it. If you want a rival, there it is. You got the Oklahoma Texas thing going on. You got you're battling back and forth typically for playoff seeding.
Let me ask you this: so let's say they drop the rivalry. What happens when the Thunder, they make improvements over the offseason, and they're right back in competition with being the best team in the West next year? So you just pick it back up again?
I still think San Antonio's the rival. I mean, here's again. I'm hating a little bit because that's what I'm supposed to do. But the point I'm making is, and I know Zach Lowe just cringes when he listens to this because we make so many OU OSU references. But let's flash back. OSU beats OU and storms the field.
Right.
And what do you say? You make fun of them.
Yeah.
You joke, because you finally won once. I mean, these guys graduated 6 years ago, and they finally get to see their team beat OU, right?
Yeah.
And that's what it's going to be like. I mean, let's say next year in this series, the Thunder go 1-3. They go 2-2, right? You think Golden State's going to care? I'm saying this is a rivalry that Oklahoma City cares about. Not a rivalry that Golden State cares about.
That's fine. They don't have to care.
Then what? But you're no different than what we're talking about with OU and OSU. You're that franchise begging for you to. I want you to be my rival. You're my. And OU fans look at OSU fans and they're like, no, Texas is our rival.
If Golden State doesn't view Oklahoma City as their rival, why is ESPN writing these articles talking about how upset Golden State is from top to bottom, from owner to players, about how Oklahoma City treated Kevin Durant?
Well, you had your theory on it. I mean, this to get people to tune in and look. This Kevin Durant thing has been, and again, that's my next. This is so played out. But I mean, it just feeds it, man. This whole thing just feeds this, and I believe a circus is what it's become. He left. I mean, he left. He's gone.
Yeah, but it's not going to stop. He better win some championships is all I'm saying, because if he doesn't, his career will forever be defined by him leaving Oklahoma City. Even if he does win a championship,
I don't think he cares. I don't think he cares about that.
I don't think he does either, because as a true competitor, this is, going way back to the summer, I don't see how you can leave and join the team that beat you in the first place and be a true competitor. So maybe he doesn't care about those tainted rings. Maybe that's all he wanted, but
tainted rings.
I'm just saying, what?
I think we need to find
join them. I guess
there's a therapy group somewhere that we can figure this thing out and just offer therapy, and people will come around to it. There might be a capitalistic opportunity here for us in this.
If Golden State says that they care about how people are treated, if they really cared about how Durant was treated or people in general, how hard would it have been for them to sit down and say, "Hey, you made the decision. Call Russell Westbrook and tell him what you did"? Because
it's not their job to get involved in the personal.
It's not so exactly. So leave it alone.
If they're going to get involved in people's personal lives, then they need to tell Draymond Green, stop getting in bar fights and stop kicking people in the crotch.
Agreed.
But that's not their job. Their job is, I want to get you healthy. I want to get you in shape. I want to teach you X's and O's, and I want you to win basketball games for me. And that's all they care about. They could care less about Russell Westbrook. They could care less, and that's the thing that Oklahoma City is overlooking. And I'm talking about from the fan base to the franchise. I look at that ESPN piece and them saying all that stuff as them just making fun of Oklahoma City. And the Thunder are paying rent. This is one of your favorite phrases. They need to pay rent because Golden State's living in their heads. You know what I'm saying? And this whole thing is just all it is. That skirmish last night, that's just saying, dude, we're in your head. We own you. We own you on the floor, and we own you mentally.
If Steph Curry going after a rookie is saying that I own you, and then Russ comes to save the day, and all of a sudden he needs his whole team to back him up, when is someone going to go after Russ? Because it's not.
I think Draymond Green tried to go after Russ last night. And you see, where's Russ end up?
You got Steph Curry.
Russ is a freak of an athlete. But really, I don't think anybody wants any part of Draymond Green. They were talking on that video about Klay Thompson, and Klay Thompson's super chill. I think Klay Thompson's
he's probably the chillest dude.
Yeah, he's just kind of like, I'm collecting a paycheck. I'll step in the circle here.
I like on that team, it's him.
But Draymond Green, man, he's not going to fight clean. He's gonna. Remember, you're probably too young. You remember the Malice at the Palace, with Ron back then when it was Ron Artest and all that stuff that went on.
Yeah.
Draymond Green has that type of potential. I don't think anybody wants any part of Draymond Green. But that said, all of that is, again, look how that played out. Oklahoma City's all upset. They're all angry. Oh, you came after you're an NBA All-Star and you came after our rookie, and we're just on the fans are booing and everyone's standing up, everybody's hating. Oh wait, there's Steph Curry wide open for a 3-point shot, and he runs it along. It doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. I mean, he's wide open. No one saw Steph Curry. You call it cherry picking. I call it being so blindsided by your hatred for this franchise and this organization that you're giving up 3 points. And that's why Steph Curry is running in the locker room laughing. They are laughing. Why? Because we own you. We own you mentally and we own you physically. This is our place now.
But they own everybody.
Do they?
At what point is it?
Okay, tell me this. Better team, Oklahoma City or Boston?
What are they this year, head to head?
I don't know.
I don't either.
Well, but just your gut. Oklahoma City or Boston? Who's better? Or are they equal? Tell me what you think.
I think anytime I compare a team from West to East, I'm going to take the Western Conference team.
Okay.
Because I just think that's a stronger conference.
So let's go Western and Western. Oklahoma City, Minnesota.
Oklahoma City.
Oklahoma City, San Antonio.
San Antonio.
But the Thunder just beat San Antonio.
Yeah. But
all I'm saying is Boston, Minnesota, and San Antonio all beat the Warriors in the last 2 weeks or so. That when you say they own everybody, I think they will. I said this last year and I was wrong. I'm glad I was wrong. But I think at the end of the day, in June, they're going to be taking a trophy back to San Francisco with them. But the point I'm making is
LeBron disagrees.
Well, LeBron can disagree, and he disagreed last year, and again, I will cheer. Don't paint this a picture other than what it is, because I hate Golden. I've hated Golden State longer than Oklahoma City fans have, because they are in the same division as the Clippers. So don't misconstrue this to me trying to be apologetic for Golden State. I hate Golden State. So whoever plays the Warriors in the finals, I will be a fan of that team. But that said, the reason I use the word ridiculous with this whole rivalry is because it's a one-sided rivalry. It's only a rivalry. No, it's only a rivalry in the minds of Oklahoma City. Golden State does not approach this as a rivalry. They don't. They are toying with this franchise. And they know this franchise is hurt. They know this franchise is angry. They know there's a lot of emotion boiling, and they are having fun with it. And Oklahoma City, they're like, man, we're getting down to business. We're serious. This is our night. And then they're just laughing. They're laughing at you.
If you think it's one-sided, you should look at our Twitter mentions from Golden State fans.
I'm talking about.
It's not Oklahoma City fans leading this. Look, Oklahoma City, rightfully so, upset that Kevin Durant that left, rightfully so upset about everything that went down last season in the playoffs.
But you can't be mad at Golden State for that.
No, but okay, so then looking forward back to this season, he comes back for the first time. The fans have fun with it. They boo. We lose. It goes back on. Who kept bringing it up in the media with the cupcake things?
What I'm saying,
the Warriors.
Yeah, because they're messing with you guys. They're messing. They are feeding the monster, and I'm telling you, they're sitting in the locker room laughing about it. I'm just telling you, that's my take on it. They're feeding this monster. They're seeing the ridiculousness of it. Okay, let me put it like this. Again, I'm sorry to keep coming back to this analogy, okay? But it worked. It fits for my agenda, and hopefully it makes sense for you. How many times have you seen OU lose in the Cotton Bowl against Texas?
In person?
Yeah.
Once.
Okay. How much trash do you talk when you go?
A lot.
Because you know what? You know Texas fans hate to hear trash from Oklahoma because Oklahoma, in your lifetime,
right,
Oklahoma has dominated that series. So you go and you're arrogant and you're proud and you're boisterous. You're a big guy. Not fat, but you're tall. You're a former college athlete. You got all this going for you. People aren't going to really mess with you. But, man, you get in their minds. You love messing with Texas fans, don't you?
Yeah.
No different, man. No different at all.
We've established that Texas is a rival.
Wait, this is what I'm saying. Now, do you amp that up for Oklahoma State fans? Because you make fun of them because they think that you are the rival, and you know they're not.
Yeah.
Okay, exactly.
Right.
That's all I'm saying. I'm done. I rest my case.
A lot of times with the Oklahoma State stuff, I just I have so many friends that are OSU fans, and I just try not to upset them. And so
Zach Lowe has shut the podcast down already. He's like, I'm done!
I think a majority of the times he's been upset with me has been me talking about OSU to him. So,
by the way, Zach, you're a great dude, man. You're a great dude.
He gets a lot of shout-outs in these
podcasts. He does, just because I want him to keep writing for us. Okay, Thunder 40-30 right now. The question you posed to me is, can they get to 50 wins? And they've got 12 games left this season. So what you got to do is look at the remainder of this schedule. Two long road trips. You got a 3-game road trip, and you got a 4-game road trip. Are there more than 3 losses remaining in these 12 games?
I'm gonna say no.
Okay.
I'm gonna say that the Thunder will get to 50 wins. They've got the 76ers at home.
Yeah,
that's the issue though. Is there's been so many games this year.
I mean, look at Brooklyn. Look at Brooklyn. I mean, that they won on the road at Brooklyn last week. Philadelphia is better than Brooklyn, but not that much. I tell you what, if they lose, it's tomorrow night.
Yeah, if they lose, then we're changing this. I'm not picking us.
Well, I'm just saying if they lose Wednesday night to Philadelphia, then yeah, this whole thing is. But I'm looking. Look, you've got a trip. You're going to Houston, right?
Houston after that.
So that trip is Houston, Dallas, and Orlando, all on the road, right? I think 1 and 3. I see a loss there, and I'm going to peg it at Houston. Right, and then you got San Antonio at home.
Yes, which is a winnable game.
They've proven that.
Right.
But also you've got Milwaukee coming up at home. Milwaukee's no slouch. They're a team that can jump up and shock you.
Yeah. They
got the Greek Freak. And then your last road trip of the season, Memphis, Phoenix, Denver, Minnesota. I think there's a loss in there as well. And by the way, and it could be in Memphis. They're one of those grinded out. Memphis is a team that I hated to play them. Just because of their style.
They're so physical.
Yeah, their style of play. It's a slow-down play. It's a physical, grinded-out game. And you talk about rivalries, man. What happened to Zach Randolph? That you know what I'm talking about? That was a rival for a while.
Old.
What I'm saying is, that's what the point I'm making. That was a rivalry. And then that just faded away. I don't want to come back.
I know we're done. Okay. It's not going to fade away.
Okay, we'll see. We'll see. We'll maybe make one of those long-term bets. I think at Minnesota, they're a team that's really gaining momentum right now. Memphis is a team that should scare you. Phoenix and Denver should be winnable games, but you've got San Antonio, Milwaukee, you got Houston, all that in those last 12 games. I'll be impressed if there's less than 2 losses. I will come on this podcast and say I'm super impressed with this team. But I'm telling you, I think there's at least 3 losses in these last 12 games.
I think the thing about it that is in favor, even though they do have the 2 decently long road trips, is that the Houston game is the first game of the road trip, and then also Memphis is the first game.
Yeah, so that does help.
That's a lot better than playing them in the middle or towards the end of the road trip. The Thunder haven't been able, and we talked about this on the last podcast, haven't been able to piece together a good win streak this season. They just came off of 5 or 6?
Yeah, I mean they and that's why that hurts so much losing,
right?
Because they were rolling, man.
Yeah. But that's the thing is I think that's going to be a 1-game skid. I think the Thunder are peaking at the right time.
It better be a 1-game skid because Philadelphia's next.
I'm saying I think the Thunder are peaking at the right time. They're playing team basketball right now, and I think they're going to piece together 10 wins over these next 12 games and head into the playoffs with the number 5 seed.
Oh,
which brings us into the next topic.
Well, it actually doesn't. We're going to jump into. Well, I'll just skip order here. So, Thunder right now, 1.5 games behind the Clippers. They were 3 games back when we recorded this podcast last week. So,
they had actually tied at one point.
No,
for the 5. Yeah.
If that was when the Clippers played Cleveland. You need the Clippers.
Yeah. So.
But that doesn't count. You can't say they're
counting it.
No.
Okay, listen here.
No.
Listen.
You can't.
Oh, I'm counting it. You better believe.
You can't win a game earlier in the day and say we're tied.
Sure you can.
No, it's at the end of
tied.
the day. No,
Records were tied.
You weren't tied until the end of the day, and at the end of the day, the Clippers beat Cleveland, and they're not tied.
I'm counting it. We were tied.
You can't. No. Okay, so. So they were 3 games back.
Right.
Game and a half now. The Clippers play tonight against the Lakers.
That's a win.
So
Clippers.
So yeah. You hope. I hope.
You hope.
Yeah. So I'm gonna look at LA's.
Should have pulled up the Clippers schedule.
That's what I'm about to do. I had it ready for my next order of business, and then you threw a monkey wrench at me. So you're saying that you think that the Thunder are going to catch the Clippers?
Yeah, I mean, especially if I'm predicting them to get to 50 wins, I think they would have to pass the Clippers if they can win 10 out of the last 12.
I mean,
unless you think, I don't know what the Clippers schedule looks like, but
well, our Wi-Fi is oh, here we go. No, here we don't go. Here, I'll just do this. I'll click there. Clippers versus Lakers tonight. 42-29, by the way, for the Clippers, just in case you were wondering. So they've got they're coming off of a 2-game winning streak. They won against Cleveland. They won against the Knicks, and now they're playing the Lakers Tuesday night. But see, they don't have any road trips. I know San Antonio's left on their schedule. Here we go. Man, this was terrible. This took so long. All right, so they've got at LA, at Dallas, and I don't really count playing the Lakers as a road. No one's going to come to the Lakers game anyway, and it's in the same.
So it's going to be a Clippers.
Yeah, it's the same stadium that they normally play in. Yeah, exactly. So the Lakers, Dallas, and then they're home against Utah, Sacramento, and Washington. At Phoenix, they get the Lakers again on April 1st versus Dallas. At San Antonio, home against Houston, and then Sacramento. They've got an easy schedule, man.
Houston?
Well, I'm saying I'm looking at Houston and San Antonio.
Washington? They're sitting at number 3 in the East.
Yeah, but if it was in DC, I'd feel a lot more worse about it than I do here. But
what about Utah?
No, I'm not worried about Utah. Let's say
they're ahead of the Clippers.
I get that. Right now they are. I get that. I'm not worried about Utah. Again, it's at home. You go to Salt Lake City, I'm worried about it. But let's say that. All right, I'm gonna give you the benefit. This is the point of my argument. I'm gonna give you the benefit of the doubt. Okay, I'm gonna say they lose to Utah, they lose to Washington, they lose to Houston, and they lose to San Antonio. Only one of those 4 games is on the road, by the way. So that's 3 losses, right? 4 losses. And I'm saying that there's at least 3 losses for the Thunder. So that means the Clippers are half a game, and you're buying me dinner at Vast. Lunch at Vast.
Lunch, not dinner.
Lunch at Vast.
That's a different story there.
I'm just saying, I don't think it's going to happen.
Clippers are 23-11 at home.
Uh-huh. And what are the Thunder on the road? Do you want to go there?
I don't have the stat right here.
All right.
But I do know the Thunder are 26-10 at home.
That's fine, but they've got 7 of the last 12 on the road. That's what you got to look at. I'm just saying, I may not like it as much next week, but right now I still like my position, even though it's not 3 games anymore. By the way, it'd be 2 full games if they beat the Lakers tonight. So that technically, by Craig logic, we've lost 1 game instead of a game and a half. So I still like where I am. I ain't scared.
I am.
Okay, so here's what I want to come back to. And I don't want to jump back into this whole rivalry thing again, because I think if that's a dead horse.
If there was going to be a podcast where I got up and left, that was the moment a second ago.
Well, I'm glad we've moved past that. But Russ, Not a great performance last night.
I mean, he still almost got a triple-double.
Yeah, but
He didn't shoot well.
I'm saying by Russ standards.
But isn't it crazy that he can get 15 points, 8 assists, and 7 rebounds, and that be a bad performance? I mean, he almost got a triple-double. And that's a bad performance for him.
That's a good performance for a guy like Alex Abrines.
And that's my point.
That's a good performance for Samaj Christian. Dude, you guys would be loving Andre Robertson if that was his stat line. But
we need to talk about Andre Robertson.
Okay, we will.
Let's add that. Are we out of time?
No, we're not out of time.
Okay.
We can make the rules here. Let's see. Holy crap, we're out of time. So the only point I'm making is that I think while Russell Westbrook is an amazing athlete, an amazing basketball player, the fact of how good he is sets the bar. And anytime you're above that bar, it's how great you are. But if you're below that bar, people take notice. You're below the bar. And I think when you look at what James Harden's continuing to roll, then they've locked up. They're one of 3 teams in the West to lock up a playoff spot. I think it hurts him. I think 15 points hurts him.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. And James Harden, yeah, he's going to win MVP.
So that's a declaration. I mean, that is a change in heart for you from a week ago. That is James Harden's now.
I thought Westbrook a week ago, I thought he had a chance. But I did. I texted Zach months ago and said that James Harden was going to win MVP this year, despite the ridiculous season that Westbrook is having. But, I mean, yeah, Russ is going to average a triple-double this year. He only needs, 8-point-something rebounds and 7-something assists per game might be the other way around, to get it. And that's, on his bad night, you say, that's what he got, was 8 and 7. And so, but it's not seeding, win percentage. That's not enough for him to get the MVP, and I think he'll come in second, maybe even. I wouldn't be surprised if he came in third.
No.
Did you see the?
There's no. I'm just saying. There's no way he's third.
There was some ballots done within the ESPN guys that he came in fourth or not even at all on their ballot.
No, that's just and people. Thunder fans look at that and say that's hot garbage. But I mean, anybody you want to lose credibility, then put Russell Westbrook third or fourth, or not even on your ballot.
I agree, but like I said, it's not all the media hype is behind James Harden, and rightfully so. He's hitting the clutch shots, winning games, and getting triple doubles while he does it. So, do you think triple doubles are going to become a more common thing?
I think the game is turning that direction, and the reason why is because we're losing you're losing the true center position.
Right. And you're losing the true point guard position.
That's true. And so your point guards are combo guards, like James Harden, Russell Westbrook. Your centers are guys that can run the floor and step out and shoot a three. Mm-hmm. The game is evolving, and I think as it evolves, that's a great question, but I think as it evolves, you're going to see superstars. And I mean, your average guys, not Emmanuel Mudiay is not going to go out there and average a triple-double. But, I mean, guys like Russell Westbrook, guys like James Harden, guys like Steph Curry, those elite point guards, Chris Paul, I think it's going to happen more frequently.
Well, I'm just thinking, LeBron, this is the first time in his career he's gotten 10 triple-doubles in one season. You're not going to convince me he couldn't have been doing that his whole career. He just didn't. It wasn't a thing. And then you look at guys in college like Lonzo Ball, who he's doing it in college. So
Lonzo has to do it to keep his dad from grounding him.
So I just think, I think triple doubles are going to become a less common thing. That's just a completely random thought, but
okay. So we're out of time.
Okay.
But we'll have to pick up this coaching thing. I do want to know your thoughts on that, and we may have to wait to the end of the season. But Andre Robertson. Shameful moment, embarrassing moment, whatever. Last night with the free throws. I know you want to talk about other things, but holy cow, dude! I mean, have you ever seen? I mean, I've seen guys airball free throws. Okay, DeAndre Jordan plays for my favorite team. I've seen guys do that. I don't know that I've ever seen a guy almost shatter the backboard because he launched the first one too hard and then airball this. I mean, I don't know I've ever seen a combination like that before. His
free throw percentage is something awful, like 30, 40%. It's got to be a mental thing, though.
Well, of course.
But I'm just saying, I mean,
DeAndre Jordan, they say he drills them in practice.
Right.
I mean, I'm just saying, absolutely, it's mental. But I mean, that was I'm
just saying I can knock down free throws.
I mean, Grandma can knock down. I don't think Grandma would miss that bad. I could be over exaggerating here, but I mean, if you haven't seen it, if you're listening, you need to. I'm sure that's on YouTube. Andre Robertson free throw against Golden State. I mean, you gotta. I mean, there's some fun going on in that locker room over those free throws because the word egregious comes to mind in correlation with those attempts. But that's not what you want to talk about with Andre Robertson.
No, I want to talk about he's on the floor for defense. That's his main purpose. Defensive. Okay, sorry. His free throw percentage is 42%. What is DeAndre Jordan?
That's what I'm just wondering.
I'll try to find that while I'm talking if I cannot get sidetracked here. But he's a great on defense. He's a defensive player of the year candidate. But when he's only taking 2 shots a game, it's kind of hard to find his purpose on the floor. When the guys that he's supposed to be guarding, Steph Curry, Kevin Durant, LeBron, they're still going to score their 25 to 30 points a game. And when he's giving you 2, does that help the team or hinder the team?
Well, like here's how I'm going to respond to that. I'm going to say you don't need him to take a lot of shots a game. Maybe you need him to take more than 2. Okay?
Timeout.
Yeah, what's up?
DeAndre Jordan shoots 49% from the free throw, which is better than Andre Robertson. Oh my gosh.
Okay. I mean, you don't want the ball in this guy's hands because, he was on his way to a dunk when they that set those free throws. They fouled him from getting the dunk, which would have been a momentum-changing, atmosphere, inducing type moment. But he gets fouled, and that was the result. So the point I'm making is, he serves his purpose. He's your defensive specialist. Yeah. But when you look at the guys on this team, take Russell Westbrook out because his range is the entire court, right? There's nowhere he's not comfortable shooting the ball from on that floor. Victor Oladipo, even Taj Gibson. You just got Doug McDermott. You got so many guys that are just natural shooters. And when you look at that starting 5, right? I mean, you put the starting 5 out there. He's your 5th option.
I agree.
And your top 3 options are really, really good options.
Yeah.
And so if what I'm saying is if Andre Robertson has to be your shooter, then it's a bad night. If he has to take 6, 7 shots, it is a bad night.
I disagree.
Because that means Russ and Victor, those guys aren't getting shots. If he has to take that many, now you give him an open shot, let him try 1 or 2. But if you're relying on him to make shots, you're losing a ball game.
When he takes 2 shots a game, it's 4 on 5. I mean, they literally leave him open, unguarded, and he won't shoot the ball. If he's an amazing defensive player, and I've defended him all season. Last year I wasn't the biggest fan, but this year I have defended him. If he will cut to the basket 3 or 4 times a game and then take 2 or 3, he's not bad from the corner 3. He's better than he is from the free throw line from the corner 3. So if he will take 2 to 3 from the corner and then cut to the lane a couple times per game, that's all I'm asking. Right. But when he's just a waste of space on the offensive end, and I think that hurts the Thunder.
I mean, it's your team, your opinion. I just you say 4 on 5. How many times have you seen Russ attack the basket 1 on 3? I mean, the mentality of this team is if this is Russ's team, the offense goes through him. I just don't think you need Andre. I mean, I think you can punish a team for leaving him in the corner, but they know you're not going to do that. That's why they leave him. That's
the problem. Is all I'm saying.
Well, the flip side of that is he's your best defender, so he needs to be the first guy down the floor.
Yeah.
So I mean, good point. Good point. I'm going to, as we do on this, I'm going to disagree with you and say I think you have so many offensive weapons that you need a defensive contributor, and that's his niche. That's what he does. And we'll see how it shakes out. All right. We're going to be taking a little bit of a hiatus, but maybe you and Zach Lowe are going to work on something to get loaded up for another podcast. And then we'll get back next month and jump back in this. And we'll be way close to knowing who's going to win our bet. But I'm looking forward to you buying me lunch at Best.
I am not looking forward to talking you much at that.
Hey, he's Craig. I'm Matt. Thanks for listening. Have a great week, everybody.
When I wake up, yeah, I know I'm gonna be the man who wakes up next to you. And when I go out, well, I know I'm gonna be